This is Stevic from 12 Foot Ninja, and you're watching Metal on Loud magazine.
Thank you for joining the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Always. How are things in your world?
Strange.
Strange. I don't hear that one often.
Yeah, it's kind of strange over here at the moment, but yeah, I think it'll hopefully get better. We're in a bit of a quest in Australia to get everyone vaccinated to, try and bring some kind of normalcy back. But yeah, I think it's affecting everyone, and it's weird.
It are weird times at the moment, but it's good that you guys are all getting vaccinated and ready for tour, I presume.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're all trying to sort of expedite that as quickly as possible. I think what's weird is we've probably got more freedom to leave the country than to actually travel within the country.
Wow.
Which is kind of an odd scenario as well. I think it's just, the way it's taken us a little bit longer to get the vaccinations across the population. I think other countries have probably done a better job at rolling it out quicker. I think we've probably been one of the most brutal countries when it comes to lockdowns. Like we just locked down, like it's been that way for ages. I haven't been able to actually get together with the band for, it feels like about 4 months or something.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I was talking about it with a promoter this morning that it almost feels like we're coming out of a dark age into a new metal renaissance. There's so much activity, so much new music coming out. It's amazing.
Well, that's a nice way to put it. That feels like I sort of felt like we were in a tunnel and we were coming out to a blue sky. The way you said that was good.
You've been working on the new material for over 5 years now, right?
Yeah.
That's a long time to work on a new album.
It is. It's painful. Well, I mean, we had the album done. We've probably been sitting on the album for over 18 months, I'd say, because when we had it ready, COVID hit, and it's like, we could put it out in a vacuum and not be able to tour it, or we could spend that time like on other content that we wanted to do, but, never really had the time to do it. So we chose the latter, and so that's what we've been doing. So for us, this album, is we've been sitting with it for quite a while. So I think we're all very anxious to hear what other people think, Yeah.
It must be itchy to get it out, get opinions on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we all can't wait. Yeah. Because it's sort of, a big part of why you make albums is so people can hear them.
Mm-hmm. True. Well, I've listened to it.
It's quite a weird thing to make an album, spend so much time, and then kind of just like, no one's going to hear that, but anyway.
I did hear that Prince apparently did that, and he has some albums still in the vault, so I've been told.
Whoa, it's interesting.
So maybe one day.
Who knows? That'd be strange. I mean, I'd imagine Prince would do something like that. But for us, I think the joy, 90% of the joy is other people experiencing it. Yeah.
We don't live in a void.
Exactly.
I've listened to it, and I have to say this is an album that you have to give multiple listens before you really get it. It's so layered. There's so much going on. Can you tell us a bit about how the songwriting went this round?
Yeah, the songwriting. I mean, I think we spent a lot of time kind of focusing on the bare minimum structure, that we call it the acoustic guitar test. So a lot of the tracks are written on acoustic, and then we refine the lyrics and the melody and then, you know, the architecture kind of comes in with the genre exploration and, you know, the expression part. So I think it's hard to kind of, it's really difficult to describe the process to make this kind of music because it varies quite a bit. And it's really like, I think the most apt comparison would be, how do you put a jigsaw together? You know, like you take one piece and then you put it there and then, you know, it's like, it's the same kind of, I think that's the closest way to explain it. It's a difficult thing to describe. Everyone knows what it's like putting a jigsaw together. That's what it's like making this kind of music. Compared to, say, artists that are like, well, what we do is we hire a barn and then we put down some rugs and we light candles and we jam and then someone hits record and, you know, that's not what we do. Like we were kind of the opposite to that.
I'm a novelist myself, so
oh wow!
In that world there are plotters and pantsers, and you're definitely a plotter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we sort of try and look at it from a holistic perspective, and then really kind of craft it, which, you know, is probably dumb. Like in the current sort of market, you know, with how consumers sort of churn through content, like taking the methodical sort of slow route is, you know, a bit of an old school way. But I think, you know, we are what we are. So we just keep rolling with it.
In the end, you get a product that is qualitative and not something easily thrown out. So that's good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that I'd hope. I mean, if there's some sort of new computer technology or something that enables people to just do this quickly, I think that's the point where I'm like, I'm going to just take up jigsaw puzzles, literally. Like I'm just going to do that.
As I said, there's so much going on this record. All your records, by the way. It takes you on a journey through multiple influences, sounds. What does your record collection look like to be able to pull something like this out of your hi-hat?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, what does the record collection look like? I mean, we all listen to very different stuff. You know, last year, you know, when you get that kind of Spotify wrapped thing, my number one artist was Hans Zimmer. You know, that's kind of, I think for me, I love film and TV composers because it's not quite as heady as classical, like, you know, music separately. The fact that it's written to a visual component means that you're kind of getting the tools and the techniques from traditional classical music, but put into a more relatable modern context. So I love what Hans Zimmer does. My next one was Radiohead. And then after that, I think it was Jason Isbell, which is like Americana, you know, singer-songwriter stuff. I'm not even sure I had any metal like on my most listened to stuff. So I think a big part for me writing heavy music is not listening to a lot of heavy music. And I've heard other people talk about that. I know Misha from Peripheries said something similar. Like they don't spend their time listening to music like what they do, because if they did, it would have a weird impact on what comes out. So I try and, I don't know, whether I try or it just naturally happens, I tend to gravitate towards music that's very different to what I make. And I feel like that probably helps come at it from a different perspective because you're not subconsciously influenced by things.
I get that, yeah. It's funny you should say that you like Hans Zimmer and film score music because there's a really visual aspect to your music, I think.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think I love, you know, it's not cartoony, but it's the effect. It's like you're kind of you can imagine it tickles your imagination. Like it's easy to kind of, it's like when you're having a dream, you can kind of, things can go anywhere. Like it's not kind of confined by the parameters that I think, convention dictates.
Mm-hmm. You consider yourself a storyteller, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. I like that you have something else to bring other than just the music, that there's something larger going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I think storytelling relies on the senses, and music is definitely a powerful one. Visual is huge, and language is, there's like a trinity, if you can somehow tackle all of them. That's why I love films, because they kind of can tackle everything. Graphic novels and novels can as well. But yeah, I think one, like music alone, it's not as impactful as when you can influence people visually and you can pair something to the music. And I think I'm probably a bit experimental in that area where, I'll push music videos to the point where they may even detract from the music because they're kind of representing it in such an abstract kind of way. But I know, I think I love like David Lynch and some of his kind of quirky, surrealist stuff is really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just dig, storytelling I think is the coolest thing, because it's inherently implying that there's a point.
Yeah. Is there still a 12-foot ninja movie on the horizon at some point?
I hope so.
I'd love to see that.
I've actually, I mean, we've got this is the novel that we've just bloody put out, which is an epic piece of work. And then I've written these two, well, this one's a graphic novel and this one's a comic. There's heaps of content there. I mean, I would love to make a film. I've actually written a screenplay for a film. It's a different idea to all of that stuff. But I would love to turn that into a film. I mean, that's the ultimate dream. But, I guess everyone's got their own, like the people who I really admire all have their trajectory stories, they have their evolutions. So I hope this is part of mine.
Yeah, I'd love to see that stuff, man. I think it really lends itself for a visual media.
Yeah. Well, that's the goal. So yeah, wait and see. Hopefully someone picks up on this and is like, let's do it. And I'll be like, yes. And then I won't sign a terrible contract, hopefully.
Yeah. Are you paying attention, David Lynch?
Yes. Where are you, David? Yeah.
You already showed the novel. I'm still going through that one. I'm at, I think, 8% of the novel, but
yep.
So far it's a great read.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, the writer Nick Snelling, I think he did an incredible job. Yeah, and I mean, it's super deep, like super vast. There's a lot to absorb, and I love that. The fact that people can swim on the shallows if they want with this band, or they can go as far down as they possibly want. That's cool. I'm glad. So you're reading it on Kindle, are you? Or
yeah, I have an app on my phone. I don't have a Kindle device, but
okay.
Yeah,
because I normally people wouldn't have that specificity of saying I'm 8% through the book. I'm like, that must be a digital device.
Yeah, it is. I would have loved to have the paperback, but
yeah,
I don't know if you can see it here, but a lot of fantasy books here.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure where are you, man? I take it. Yeah, Holland. Okay. Well, we'll make sure. I think we're playing in your neck of the woods, hopefully. Mm-hmm. I have to double check. I never really know where I'm going until before I'm about to leave. But if we're in your neck of the woods, we'll make sure you hook you up with one. Yeah. A proper paperback version.
Is there a lot of tour coming on the horizon?
Well, we've got Europe in early 2022, and yeah, I mean, we're just all crossing our fingers, hoping that there's not some sort of like crazy bullshit thing that gets in the way of that. You know, I'm hoping once everyone's double vaxxed, there's a booster, like talk of a booster sort of 6 months after the double vax, like that will hopefully well and truly, you know, mitigate any kind of inflammation, like serious inflammation from getting COVID. I'm kind of preparing to get COVID. Like I haven't had it, but I think everyone will get it eventually. It's going to be very difficult to not get this. So yeah, I mean, I hope that it just happens. So yeah, that's the touring plan. But it's such a weird thing. It's like we can't. Like usually, you know, when you have tour dates, you kind of are like, yeah, we'll be there. But it's like nothing's certain. Like anything can really happen. And with our luck, COVID will be gone, but aliens will arrive.
Well, there's your next album.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, I've been putting it out there. I'm looking for a job. I'd like to work for them. Yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's. I hope we get over there. I mean, we've really missed it. I think it shows. You kind of take simple things for granted, you know, and that's just human nature to only appreciate things when they're taken away from you. But you know, we certainly would love to see people again in person, and you know, especially Holland. We loved being in Holland, man. It's the gigs there and the way we were treated is some of the best times in our experience all over the planet. I think Holland was particularly good, and everyone's tall. Have you noticed in Holland? You're minimal. Like, how tall are you? Are you tall?
I'm not really tall myself, so I notice. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of tall people. I think the median height is 6 foot or 5'11" for a male or something.
I'm
to
not
that.
certain in feet. I'm 1.70 m myself, and I'm a dwarf. So
yeah, well, 1.70 m is not really. That's actually, I think 1.77 m, I think, is the normal, like the standard height, the average, I should say, not normal. Yeah. But over there, it's like everyone's like 190 or something, aren't they? They're huge.
Yeah. 192 meters. It's a hell if you want to see a show. I can tell you that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's a good thing I became a journalist, so I can just go backstage.
You get beside a stage. Yeah. Exactly. You have to send me, if you can. I'd be interested in your writing. Send me some stuff.
Yeah,
you said if you're working on things.
Yeah. After the interview, we'll exchange emails.
Cool. Sounds good.
Good. So how is the rest of the year going to look for you? Do you have any other plans other than a tour?
No, well, I mean, pretty much the remainder of the year is going to be just somehow trying to get the live show together, which has proven really difficult because we can't rehearse. So we're sort of trying to coordinate logistics and rehearse individually and do all this kind of stuff, which is, it's really foreign. And then, I guess just getting ready for the launch of this album. I started a crowdfunding campaign with the video game that I put out. I crowdfunded that. So now I'm making a full length video game. So I'll be sort of working on that as well. So I guess we're all in a strange haze right now. It's such a weird time, like unprecedented. So that, I think the fact that I feel like it'll be like the dam will break once the album's out. Like once we can actually go, this is what we've been sitting on, and I think that's kind of preoccupying anything at the moment.
Yeah. I think once all the restrictions lift and we get out to play, the world will be our Woodstock.
Yeah, that would be cool. What's happening in Holland? Is it can you go to a pub? Can you go places and see friends and stuff?
Yeah, most restrictions have been lifted, but bars still close at 12, I think. I'm not a big
Okay.
bar goer, so I'm not certain, but I think they close at 12. And the bigger events still need like a proof that you are vaccinated or that you haven't tested.
Yeah. And what vax did you get?
Moderna.
Right. Okay.
Really modern now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what they. I just heard something. They're rolling that out here. We've had Pfizer and AstraZeneca. Yeah, I think we're all getting Pfizer because that's the most recognized, like all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't think Switzerland recognizes AstraZeneca for some reason.
My wife got that one. She was early. Yeah.
She
wasn't too happy.
Did she get sick from it? Like, did it make her? Yeah, like the first or the second one?
The first one. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt a bit shit after the first one. I was like, just couldn't do anything. It didn't really make me feel sick. I just felt flat and couldn't be bothered with anything for like a week.
I think I was lucky. I just couldn't sleep on one arm, so that's good.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words for your friends out there, our viewers?
I'd say thanks for your support. Thanks for hanging in with us over this long period of time. Yeah, try and read some of this stuff and have a bloody good time. That's the main message is be happy.
Yeah, that's a good message. Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
I'd love to see you out there, and I cannot recommend this album and this book enough. So people go out and get it.
I really appreciate that.
Metal Loud.
Cool.